Welcome to the PSBT Film Challenge competitions. As some of you may already know, last year with the onset of the pandemic, PSBT, along with the Foundation for Universal Responsibility of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, had launched this film challenge, and many people from across the country responded to it. And today we are here to talk to two of the award winners of two award-winning films. So welcome Bishwajit and Rachna and Ronak. Before we start the conversation, it's my pleasure to introduce you formally. Bishwajit is here with his film Cremation Diaries, which won the FUR Lotus Award. Bishwajit has been working on in the production of television programs and documentaries for many years in Delhi and also in Assam. He started making TV programs and documentaries in 2000 for Doordarshan. And he has also taught video production, and he conducts filmmaking workshops and also conducted one for Green Hub, which is works with the environment in Assam and in the Northeast. He writes on cinema and theater and is also a senior fellow of the Ministry of Culture. So welcome, Bishwajit. The second film and the filmmakers who have made that are here. The second film is called Khat or Letters, and it's made by a duo, Rachna Dhupar and Ronak Chandira. Both Rachna and Ronak are film enthusiasts, and they have a keen interest in short films and producing short films. Rachna is currently a Gandhi Fellow and has done a BA in Political Science from Kamla Nehru College. Ronak is a journalism graduate from Lady Shri Ram College and is currently preparing for her master's in advertising and PR. So welcome to all of you. And it really is a pleasure for me to be able to speak to you. First of all, I think I'd like to just thank you for making the films and, you know, allowing us to reflect on the time that we have lived through, an unprecedented time. And it is going to take us quite a while to sort of make sense of it. But I think your films are, you know, little sort of nudges prompting us to think about, you know, what we have lived through. So perhaps we can begin the conversation by just talking about what prompted you, you know, to make these films and these particular ideas. And also at a time when, you know, we were also paralyzed by what was going on, you know, so to push yourself to actually shoot and make something, then, you know, under these extremely challenging conditions, you know. So perhaps y'all can all just, whoever would like to go first. Yes, Rachna?
Sorry. So I think isolation was one of the most important theme that prompted us to make our film Khat. And apart from that, COVID sort of brought everybody together. So the scenarios are very different, like in terms of gender, in terms of locations, economic conditions. Yet all these differences were sort of they came together in COVID with similar experiences. So same case happened with Ronak, and we were working in different situations. We talked about it, different scenarios that we were going through, and isolations, a need for human connection, social media break. All these points brought us together for this film. Ronak, I don't know.
Ronak, do you want to just come in on that? And also that, how did you muster your, you know, resources to just go out and actually do something at a time when everyone was so paralyzed?
I think the film pretty much got us together. The whole idea of lockdown, being isolated, not being able to meet each other. We became friends during the lockdown, and we both discussed our love for films, and that is how we came up with the idea of Khat as well, which is why the story also revolves around two people who are both isolated at different places and come together during the COVID times and find companionship with each other. Because one thing that all of us probably felt during these times was the need for companionship, the need for human touch, to be able to talk to people again, meet people again. And that is the idea which actually drove us to make that film.
So do I understand you correctly? So you were not friends before. So how did you become friends during the lockdown?
We had met before. We weren't really friends. We had a few mutual friends, and it was actually to discuss. I mean, if I am allowed to share the story, it was our mutual friend's birthday, and because of COVID, we couldn't really go out and celebrate. So we got together on a call, and we were like, okay, so this group of friends and this group of friends is coming together to celebrate the birthday of the third mutual friend. And both of us were the point of contact between the two groups. That is how we eventually started talking and discussed our love for films and interest in making films. And that is how Cut happened.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, because it is, these are the little glimmers of hope, no, at a time when we all felt so much despair, but actually you forged a new relationship and you actually created something out of that. So that's really wonderful. Bishwajit, what about you? I mean, your film has also a very strong personal sort of link to it, and it must have taken, quite a lot of courage and heart to be able to put the story of your personal experience with your mother in the film. So what led you to making this, and how did you come about just making it all come together?
When the pandemic broke out, I found my friends, some painters, then some photographers, some poets. They're doing something. They are recording the time. But I am helpless that I could not record the time. Every night while, at that time I had been working with a local day. So every night while going to office, I had seen that everything is dark and nothing like that we have ever seen such darkness. And in office, as soon as you sit in the desk, reports coming of deaths, of isolations, quarantine, and this kind of thing. And I found that one of my friends who was sitting beside me, he's a teacher in Assam University. He's making something, recording the time. I mean, this pandemic time. And my camera person of this film, our cremation diary, he's also a professional photographer. He's also doing something or something. Everybody is doing something, but I was helpless that I could not do it. But I know that this is a time that should be recorded. And being a documentary maker, I was helpless. And there was two dilemma working. First thing, ethical. Should I record this thing or in this distress, this time of distress? Then again, if I miss it, I'll never get those time. This kind of dilemma was going on. And eventually, lockdown lifted during Durga Puja. I mean, 2020's Durga Puja.
Yeah.
It was October. Then there are many ideas that this can be made a film, that can be made a film, this kind of thing. Then came PSBT's call. And then, since I had many ideas, I could not pick up one, perfect one. Then my wife came into my rescue and he told me that, okay, you have been telling me about this man, Rising Youth People. Can you make a film on them? And then I rang up that gentleman and he cooperated, and that's why this film came up.
I see. So could you talk a little bit more about the sort of shooting process, because like you mentioned, sort of also the ethical question, how much to intrude and not to intrude.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about, what the challenges were and how you sort of negotiated them? What were the choices that you made? So like your film opens actually with
basically our
narration.
shooting was with
Yes, go ahead.
Local administration, disaster management people. They cooperated to me. They gave me permission to recreate the scene in crematorium or something like that. Then I asked the gentleman of Rising Youth, hey, bhai, can you help us? He said, okay, we'll do it. Then they came with their kits and all, and they done it. And as for these interview parts,
Hmm.
it was different places. There was no difficulty there,
Right.
but it was there were some difficulties in shooting the crematorium part.
Right. So was your
Because,
crew was shooting that, or did those people shoot that for you?
No,
How
no,
did
no.
you?
We go there.
You shot.
We went there.
Right.
We
So
went there.
that must have been
And
very
they also
challenging.
came, and at the same time we got the permission from the local administration, disaster management administration. They cooperated with us, and that's how the shooting was done.
Yeah, must have been extremely challenging. Yeah.
Huh.
So Rachna and Ronak, if you were to move to your film, and the kind of choices that you made in the film were that you're in the interior, right? You're actually in that locked kind of experience that we went through. No, it's about the interior space. So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about that in a way you're shooting the same spaces, you're focusing on objects and people in those spaces. So this whole emphasis on kind of, how one uses mise-en-scène and the craft related to mise-en-scène. So could you talk a little bit perhaps about that and those challenges and how you dealt with them?
Just to start off, and Ronak can continue what I was saying. So, Ronak was in Ambala at that time, and I was in Mumbai. Two very different locations, and we were yet very new to each other per se. So, like the most important challenge was two different locations, and the entire film was made on Zoom. So, in terms of scripting, to shooting, to setting frames in different locations. So, one scene is happening in Ambala, the other scene is happening in Mumbai, and we are setting up frames on Zoom. So, this frame is right on, turn left, turn right, network connectivity, a lot of issues, and very different challenges in terms of filmmaking. So, right from scripting, shooting, editing, distribution, everything happened on Zoom and through online. Everything.
Wow.
So yeah, like that was important, and we were discussing what challenges are we facing to make it more personalized, and being locked up for so long, and especially for college students who just graduated, it was a very new space. So these challenges brought together the film in a way, like it made it in a different perspective. So,
Ronak? I think you're on mute.
Yeah, as Rachna mentioned, the main and the worst challenge was that it was all coordinated on Zoom. So connectivity issue was a major problem. But after that, I think one thing which made it really easy for us to make that film was that the characters in the film were actually very real. They were both inspired from people we had been seeing in front of our eyes. Like Rachna's character, Muskan's character is very similar to what Rachna was experiencing in Mumbai. And Dadi's character came straight out of my grandmother who was staying with me. And that is perhaps what made it easy for us to shoot, because there was not a lot of planning and that sort of a difficulty involved. Everything seemed very authentic. And it was shot as it is. So talking of the mise-en-scene, again, it was very simple for us to record Dadi as someone who's very old and who's very traditional in her ways. That is exactly how her room was. It had a wooden table. She uses an ink pen, and she has the old papers, writes in Hindi. So I wanted to capture all of that. And it was very easy because that is how she lived. And perhaps Rachna can tell you the difficulties that she faced, because in my case, I had Dadi and I was recording. In her case, she was the only person who was acting and recording. So
I was like, it was my first time acting, and I had to also shoot. So tripod came handy, and very similar location, very similar context in terms of what I was living, a corporate setup, work from home setup, like corporate life in terms of job hours and everything. But yeah, the major challenge was me shooting myself, and finding proper locations to
Setting up the frame, then going
setting
in.
up frame, going back, checking the focus, lighting again and again. So yeah, fun but very interesting.
Yeah, I can imagine. So as a follow-up question, since you spoke of, the two characters, so what I found interesting is the cross-generational relationship, that the letters are between two people of different generations. And also in a way, the form of communication is also, it's all media. Letters, handwritten letters are now almost a thing of the past, right? So I was thinking that what was it? Was it something that was induced by this experience? Suddenly, how we were taken away from the world. What prompted that? Like, how did you think about the letters and also the need for this cross generational relationship? Ranak?
I think we're both very old people. Both of us at that point of time, we had reached a point where everybody was on social media all the time, and we had the same kind of posts, and everyone was making dalgona coffee. And I think that is when we decided that we need to take it off from social media. And we wanted to show connection between two people who were staying in two different cities. So one medium that we sort of explored a little was phone call. Zoom we didn't want to do because we were still new to that medium. And somehow we felt that what we could bring out in the form of words and letter writing, that kind of poetism to the film, that wouldn't come out if we used any other medium of communication, which is how both of us finalized letters.
Okay. So in a way, Bishwajit, your film also uses words as testimony. Your film is about testimonies of this time, in a sense. Your testimony with your experience, and of course of the young person from that organization who is actually helping to do the cremations for people who have lost their loved ones. So I was wondering if you could speak a little bit about this, the use of testimony in documentary film, and why you feel that is an important, why you chose that and why you feel that is important.
First thing that I want to take I give a bigger scope of the film within the 10 minutes time. And at the same time, I want to tell some story that I have experienced. So, and my mother died, that too. And I picked up the story because I knew this young gentleman in crematorium, though he is from my ancestral village. So in crematorium, suddenly while filling the forms, he told me, "Are uncle, we are from the same village and this and that." And he said me, "Are uncle, आप चले जाइए, जो बाकी काम करना है हम करेंगे, आपके घर वाले जैसे करते थे हम भी वही कर लेंगे, आप चले जाइए, this time is not good, so you go home." And it was raining. So emotionally, something that this gentleman have done something for me. So I want to tell his story. I want to tell my story. And at the same time, I want to tell the story of the time, particularly COVID management. See, everybody has seen that in newspaper that excavator are dumping peoples in Italy, in Bangalore, and this kind of. But in our Assam, this COVID management at the first 01, COVID 01, I mean lockdown, COVID first.
Yeah, the
phase.
first March 2020 onwards.
That time the management was very fantastic in our Assam. In hospital, they help us. Food was good, treatment facility was good, and this thing was good comparing other big cities and other states. So I want to tell that story also. I'm that part of the story also. So I thought that speaking on screen, I mean off screen, it would be better to tell my story as I express the whole thing in 10 minutes time.
Yeah, it has been a time, I mean, and that I think that your film tries to present that although it has been such a time of so much trauma, and yet people have also come together, citizens have come together to help other citizens, even when institutions and governments have failed, people have come together to help each other. So in some ways, your film is
But there was resistance also. People are still helping others. Our rising youth people, these gentlemen, while taking the bodies for cremation, they are facing resistance from villagers or these neighborhoods. This kind of thing were there.
Yeah, you mentioned that also. Yeah. So perhaps we could end the conversation by just, if we could sort of have you reflect on how you think, do you think that, this pandemic experience has changed the way that, films are going to be made? And if you do, then, in what ways, what do you think you have taken away from making a film in this time?
For me, yes. Because first time I realized that low or zero budget film can be made sitting in Silchar. In normal time, we used to hire camera from Guwahati, crew person from Guwahati. But this time it is all local. And the budget was very minimal. I mean, it is a zero budget almost. So it is a possibility for us.
So that excites you?
Oh, yeah, this is exciting. And I have already completed another film on COVID. I have started trilogy.
Okay.
Cremation Diary is one. The another one has been completed. Post-production has been done.
Okay.
And third one will be started.
Wow.
Very.
So it has definitely impacted the way you make films this time.
It's opened up some opportunity for us.
That's good. That's good to know. Yeah. Rachna, Ronak, what about you? What are your thoughts on this?
It was a very reflective period per se, because as Vishwajit also said that ethical questions were there. That do you really want to shoot something as painful as this period, or just for a purpose of entertainment? But at the same hand, it's one of those historic periods like World War I or World War II. It's that big. So if you don't document a period like this, it will be a big loss for the film industry that way. So somewhere along that line, we're playing in it for like, we were talking also about this, how should we or should we not? And this sort of gave way that as filmmakers, we're also responsible for documenting an important period like this. And it definitely changed how filmmaking process will begin. We made a film on Zoom. So like, given that, I think it has changed a lot of things. Interesting outlook for future.
Ronak, any last words from you?
I completely agree with what Vishwajit sir and Rachna have both said. I think it has made filmmaking as a process very flexible and narrowed down the boundaries and the limitations that were there earlier. Like, it was an industry which was not very reachable in terms of making. So that process has become quite smooth. Like, I couldn't think perhaps 2 years ago that I'd be able to make a film, that too on Zoom. But now that has become very easy. It has come down to the masses, and it's very convenient to make a film on phone, connect over Zoom and discuss it over Zoom like we are right now. So I think that the boundaries have definitely come down, and to think that the films that we made last year and this year and the films that we are making around COVID is going to be documented as a part of history, it's a huge thing in itself. Like, that is how we feel about films about the World War, partitions, etc. And years down, probably that's how people will look at these films as well. So it's a huge responsibility, but it feels good. Like we're doing something good.
Thank you. That's really great to hear that, you feel actually empowered to make more. And it's wonderful that, we will wait to see new work coming out. And we look forward to the new films made in these new ways. and that how sort of you are rising to the challenges that this time has presented us with. So thank you all so very much. Thank you for making the films, and more power to you to make more.